What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dollar Mike and I'm back at it again with another video. If you couldn't tell by the title, we're going to be buying some stocks today. Yes, we've been talking about the stock market all year. Yes, the stock market has been falling all year, but regardless, I don't know when we're going to reach the bottom of the stock market, just like nobody else on YouTube or on the internet or in general knows when the bottom is going to be. But I do want to take advantage of some low positions in my portfolio and go ahead and add some money to my portfolio today. So let's go ahead and get started. This is an invest with me. So watch me go ahead and invest $5,000 into my Robinhood portfolio. See what stocks I put them into. Maybe you might get some ideas. This is for entertainment purposes only. You do not have to follow my trades. I do not want you to follow my trades. You need to go ahead and do all that good old research for yourself and make the best investment decisions for yourself going forward in the future. Either way, invest with me. $5,000. Let's get right into the video. Let's go. So first things first, of course, we have to go ahead and open the portfolio on up. Robinhood is my pick of choice for my overall dividend and growth portfolio. If you guys have been following my channel for a while now, then you know all about it. But if you guys don't know, pretty much I'm invested mostly in dividend and growth stocks on my Robinhood portfolio. So if you're interested in just seeing more stuff like that, I have pretty much videos every single month going over my entire portfolio, all the dividends I got paid out for it, and all that good jazz if you're interested. So the link for that will be right up there. But let's go ahead and click on Robinhood, Face ID, and we are in. Right now, my portfolio is sitting at a whopping $33,791.53. Overall, we're down today about $119. And like I said before, this is an invest with me, so we're going to go ahead and invest $5,000. So as you can see right now, my buying power is sitting at about $3,463. So we're going to go ahead and add a little bit more to that right here. Deposit funds, and yes, the right bank account. Always got to check. Always make sure you got the right bank account. And we're going to go ahead and add another $2,000 to that. Just once. Transfer, and we should be all good to go in a couple of seconds. Instant deposit. Awesome. So now we're sitting at about $5,400 in buying power. So let's pretty much get into it. So before I jump into pretty much all the stocks I'm buying, I do want to tell you guys I sold 3 stocks today so we can overall get to this point. Those 3 stocks I mentioned in my previous videos, but I'm just going to go over them really quick right here. That first stock I sold today was ticker symbol BGS. So let's go on over to ticker symbol BGS real quick. This stands for B&G Foods. Pretty much, I talked about B&G Foods before. They didn't really have a place on my portfolio anymore. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely check out my portfolio update videos where I talk about it in depth. But they didn't really have a place on my portfolio. The dividend, I feel like they couldn't withhold the dividend long term. Overall, they do pay a really high dividend right now, about 12% dividend yield. But if the stock price is going to continue to fall as it's done over this past month, down 30% in just a month, and pretty much over the past year as well, down 48%. Of course, a lot of stocks are down this year, but overall, I don't see B&G Foods recovering like something like Coke or Pepsi or another type of consumer staple type of food brand recovering. I don't see B&G Foods doing that as far as their overall thing. And if you look at their overall chart over the past 5 years, they're still down overall by about 50%. So B&G Foods was the first one to get cut off the list. I pretty much sold it for about a 48% loss, which I honestly should have sold it earlier, but it is what it is. So regardless, it's sold and I profited, or I pretty much had about $800 to take from that. Past B&G Foods, we have ticker symbol KO or Coke. Now you guys already know I'm a big fan of Coke as a brand. I'm a big fan of Coke stock. I overall invest into Coke, but I simply wasn't putting enough money into Coke to really see the benefits or the fruits of my labor, I guess you could say. Pretty much I only had about $700 invested into Coke stock, and I figured I could put this all into one single ETF, and we talk about that in separate videos, but I'll bring it up here once I go ahead and buy that stock. I can put it into one single ETF and get more value by owning a portion of Coke versus buying Coke individually. Now, of course, like I said, there's nothing wrong with Coke stock. If you have Coke stock in your portfolio, do I recommend you sell it? Absolutely not. I personally think it's a great company to hold for the long term. But simply put, I wasn't investing any more money into Coke on a consistent basis, so I didn't see the point in continuously holding the stock. Past that though, the last stock I sold today was also for about $700, and that's ticker symbol PG. Another one of my favorite stocks. I think it's actually in my forever stock video. Pretty much a stock that I would always have on my portfolio. You know, things change. Either way, there's nothing wrong with Procter & Gamble. I feel the same exact way about Procter & Gamble I feel with Coke. Great company, great brand. They own a lot of different stuff, but personally, I wasn't putting any more money into this particular stock, so it was no reason for me to continuously hold the stock while I only hold about $700 worth of it. So overall, I'm going to buy a dividend ETF that pretty much has all of these stocks put into one single stock, and that's going to be my go-to when it comes to investing into all these different consumer staple like companies on top of a little bit of extra money. So let's go on over to that stock. It's actually already on portfolio. I talked about it before. We scroll on down. It's going to be ticker symbol XLP. Ticker symbol XLP stands for Consumer Staple Select Sector Spider Fund. Either way, it is a dividend ETF where you can go ahead and invest yourself into, or you're going to invest your money into a whole bunch of different consumer staple stocks. And we scroll on down, we can see what their top 10 holdings are. And some of their top 10 holdings you can see right here is Procter & Gamble, one of the companies I really like. Pepsi, another company I really like that I'm not invested into. Coke, love it. Costco, I'm not invested into Costco at all, but I really do love Costco. Walmart, don't use Walmart too much, but I do, I wouldn't mind being invested into it. Philip Morris, Colgate, Estee Lauder, and the list goes on. But overall, this is a consumer staples ETF. So I'm going to go ahead and put my money, as you can see, I have $1 worth of it in here, and it's down about 8%. I'm going to go ahead and put all the combined money that I got from those other 3 stocks into this one single stock, and this will be my consumer staples ETF. So let's go ahead and click trade. We're going to click buy, and we're going to do it in dollars because that's how we're running everything today. $2,200, I believe, if that's correct, is going to XLP. That's about 32 shares. We can queue it for, let's queue it for a dollar-based order. The market's closed right now, so I want to make everything simple. We're going to do it all in dollars. Swipe up to submit. So some of it might go through now. The rest of it might go through tomorrow morning when the market opens back up. But for the time being, it looks like it's queued for tomorrow morning. So that'll purchase tomorrow morning at about 9:30 a.m. once the market opens. Past that, the next stock on the list is ticker symbol AAPL. We're rolling now. Ticker symbol AAPL stands for Apple. You guys know I'm a huge Apple fan. I buy a lot of their products. Yeah. And pretty much every time I feel as though I buy an Apple product, I feel as though I should match that same energy, do the same thing, match that energy and go ahead and buy the stock as well. So I just bought this brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max, 256 gig, whatever. So I feel like it's only right for me to go ahead and match that when it comes to pretty much buying Apple stock. Otherwise, I just wouldn't bother with the stock. But besides that, we're going to go ahead and buy some Apple stock today. So we're going to go ahead and buy about $1,000 worth of Apple stock. This is actually how much the iPhone costs that I spent before taxes. So let's go ahead and click review, and we should be good to go once the market opens tomorrow. Or this might fill right now. We'll find out in a couple of seconds. It did fill right now. So now we have unlock more buying power. No, I'm good for right now. So now we have 23.87 shares of Apple stock. Overall, about 10% of our portfolio, but it's all good. I'm not too worried about that right now. Like I said, every time I buy an Apple product, I match it by buying a little bit of Apple stock, or pretty much however much this costs, that's how much is going to go into the stock. Past Apple stock, the next one on the list today is ticker symbol DGRO. As I mentioned, this is a dividend and growth portfolio, and to me personally, DGRO and ticker symbol SCHD are some of the best dividend ETFs that you can invest into on the stock market if you're not simply buying the entire stock market as a whole. Maybe you want to go ahead and just invest into the SPY and pretty much get the top 500 US companies. That's a great investment. I think that's a solid investment, and I do that on my other portfolios that are a little bit more boring. But this portfolio, I do a little bit more trading on this portfolio. I have a little bit more fun here. So we're going to take a little bit more risk slightly. It's still a pretty solid investment regardless. Take a little bit more risk, and we're going to go ahead and buy some more DGRO stock. Right now, DGRO, the dividend yield on that is about 2.3%. Overall, I think SCHD is about 3%, so definitely better in that sense. But DGRO is focused on big name companies that I like in particular, like Apple and Microsoft, versus SCHD, which isn't. So if I can have a little bit more into Apple and Microsoft, I'm personally okay with that. That's my risk tolerance. That may be completely different for you. But they also have a big holdings in Johnson & Johnson, JP Chase, Pfizer, a little bit in Procter & Gamble, Home Depot, and you can see the other ones on the list as well. Either way, we're going to go ahead and buy some more DGRO stock today. Right now, I have about 110 shares, overall worth roughly $5,000, and we're down about 11%. Let's go ahead and buy about $500 worth of this. And we're going to do a dollar-based order to make things simple. Swipe up, and we'll be good to go when the market opens tomorrow, unless it fills right now. But we'll find out in a couple of seconds. Yep, tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning, we'll be all good to go there. The next stock on the list is ticker symbol MPW, another one on the list that has taken a major beating, but it's actually doing pretty well today. So I actually want to grab it at this extreme low. I think it was actually lower than this, around $10, I think, a couple of days ago. But you guys know, I'm investing for the long term. So like, do I believe some of these stocks will go down even further in price in the next couple of weeks or months? Yes, possibly, but at the same time, I'm not trying to time the market. I can put more money into the market if that does happen, but for the time being, I do want to establish these positions and get in some of these lower prices, get in at some of these lower prices if I can. Either way, we're going to go ahead and buy some more MPW. If you guys don't know what MPW is, it stands for it is a REIT, which is a real estate investment trust, and pretty much they own a whole bunch of different real estate when it comes to hospitals and healthcare centers. So they have a lot of that covered. That's pretty much what their gist is. You can do your research to find out if you want to be invested into medical properties trust as well. It's sitting right now at about $11 a share. I'm overall down about 38%, and the dividend yield right now is a high 11%, but a solid dividend that they can definitely afford to pay right now. It's simply that low because the stock price is so low. So let's go ahead and buy more MPW. I'm gonna buy about $250 worth of MPW. Let's see if it fills right now. Maybe not. We'll find out in a couple of seconds. Looks like it did fill. So now we have about 82 shares of MPW, overall market value of about $900, and we're down still about 31%. Not too worried about it, but you can see I got my average cost way down as well. So we're gonna back on out of that and going over to the next stock. The next stock on the list is ticker symbol. I'm gonna scroll down. Actually, I'm just gonna type it in. Ticker symbol DIS or Disney. You guys know I've been talking about Disney for about 6 months now. I love Disney. I think Disney will be just fine in the long term. Not worried about Disney at all. And I also think Disney is a great stock to grab under $100 a share. Anything over, sure, still good, but the market isn't in that state of recovery just yet. So I think if you can get it under $100 a share, then that's definitely better than trying to get it pretty much over, which makes sense because you're saving money. Either way, for the long term. Gonna go ahead and buy some more Disney stock in a second. If you scroll down, we can see I'm down about 24% on my Disney stock. I've been slowly buying Disney every single month, not putting too much money into it because it's been continuously falling throughout this entire year. As we can see here, down almost 50% past year. So definitely great time to buy some Disney stock in my personal opinion. Overall, they're not paying a dividend right now, as that pretty much makes sense because the parks and everything were closed because of the pandemic and all these other issues. So overall, will they pay that dividend out in sometime in the future? Maybe. I'm not too worried about it. I'm cool with Disney just being a growth stock for me, and I think Disney has a lot of room to grow once we do actually start recovering. Like I said, I don't know when that's going to be, just like nobody else does, but I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of the cheap price right now and grab some more Disney stock for the long term. We're going to go ahead and buy another $250 worth of Disney stock, which is right here. Do Q dollar-based order, swipe up, we should be good to go. That's another 2 shares. Let's see what we got. If it fills right now, we'll find out, and it will fill tomorrow morning. Past Disney stock, what do we have? We have ticker symbol MSFT. Overall, Microsoft. Love Microsoft stock. We're going to scroll on up. It's right here. I'm actually just going to buy 1 share of Microsoft stock. Nothing too crazy here. I believe I might be spending over $5,000 actually. But I'm just going to grab 1 share of Microsoft stock. I'm overall still up with my shares of Microsoft. I have 4.34 shares of Microsoft. They don't pay a huge dividend. I don't expect them to. Microsoft is definitely a growth stock, and I'll see Microsoft sometime in the future. Will they fail? It'll take a lot. If Microsoft fails or Apple fails or a company like that fails, then it's a lot more to worry about in the world than pretty much a short-term recession or a recession in general. There's a lot more to worry about if these stocks ever drop to zero like Apple and Microsoft. Either way, we're going to go ahead on in and buy just 1 share of Microsoft. So about a $225. Let's change it back to shares real quick. Buy 1 share. Boom, bada, bing. And it might fill right now. We'll find out in a couple of seconds. It did. So 1 share of Microsoft added, and we should be good to go there. Next stock on the list is ticker symbol. Am I running out of money? I'm getting down there. Next stock on the list is ticker symbol JEPI or JEPI. JEPI stands for JP Morgan JP Morgan Equity Premium Income. Pretty much, I talked about this. This was actually my replacement for QYLD. So if you haven't seen that video, check the video out. It'll be linked right up there. But right here, I'm just going to grab some more JP Morgan equity income stuff. Pretty much a nice little dividend player. Overall down about 8%. I have about 36 shares. And if we scroll down, the dividend yield is a consistent anywhere between 8% and 12%, I would say, every single month. On top of that, I dive into all the details in that video, so definitely check it out. I want to make this one as quick as possible because it's already getting a little bit lengthy, and it would take a little bit of time for me to explain this one, so I'm going to skip on over that. If you want to see the full details of what this stock can do for your portfolio in the short term or the long term, then definitely check that video out. It'll be linked at the top. Either way, we're going to go ahead and buy some more JEPI. We're going to buy about $250 worth, so let's change that back to dollars. $250 going to JEPI, whole base dollar order, swipe up. and we'll be good to go either right now or when the market opens tomorrow. Let's find out. Queued. So for tomorrow, and the last stock on this list, yes, we're still buying stocks. The last stock on this list is a company that I talked about that I made a little bit of a comparison about a little bit of time ago, maybe a couple of months. And we're gonna scroll on down to the bottom because I believe it's down here, and it is ticker symbol WBA or Walgreens. I told you guys I was gonna buy more Walgreens around that $33 a share price point. I thought that was a great price point to get Walgreens at. Of course, anything lower than $33 a share is amazing, in my personal opinion, and I will be picking up more. So just gonna buy a little bit of Walgreens, just gonna buy about $200 worth of Walgreens right now today. And that'll put us at about, I think, a little bit over $5,000 spent pretty much in the market. Like I said, do I think the market will crash or go down even further, like the overall market over the next couple of weeks and months? Honestly, yes. I don't think we're in a good time right now. I think inflation is still uncontrollable. I don't know if the Fed has everything under control. The CPI report comes out on, I believe, Thursday, so be on the lookout for that. The market could go up, or depending on what the report says, or tumble even more, which, of course, would just make the prices of everything I just bought go down even further. But like I said, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Either way, if it does go down even further, I'm going to buy even more stock. I get paid every month, so I can put some more money into the stock market every single month. It's just that simple. Overall, in dollar cost averaging for the long term, I'm not touching any of this for the most part. Anything in this portfolio, I'm probably not going to touch for at least 10 years for the most part. Like, I don't need any of this money in particular. So this is literally just what we got going for right now. So let's find out. Let's see what happens in the long term. We'll have to literally return to this 10 years from now and see where we are. But either way, that's what I'm buying right now. And that's what I pretty much just bought right now. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. That's pretty much all I got to say in this video, and I'm out. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay positive. Stay hydrated. Go invest in some stocks. Get it at the time where everybody's scared to go and buy some stocks. That's all I got to say. Peace.